Hey guys, it's Miranda here at Sunshine and Grace, where I make journals and ephemera for a life sown in sunshine and grown in grace. Today we are doing a very fun and adorable little project that I'm calling Fall Flip Out Journals. They're kind of like an accordion fold deal. They're just simple little journals, very, very thin, that would fit nicely in Happy Mail or inside another journal, or just to give us, since the holidays are coming up soon, to give us a gift. They'd make a cute little, just, small little something to say, hey, thinking about you and all that jazz. So I have made several. I have 3 done, and we're going to do this style on camera. Y'all wish me luck. We are actually going to bust out and use the sewing machine. You all will not see the sewing machine. You will see the results. Now I will explain the process because I'm going to do it a slightly different way than I did on this one, so that it doesn't turn out the hot mess that this one is. That was my prototype. Then I decided to do 2, just gluing them without sewing, and then we'll do the sewn one on camera. So wish me luck, guys, because my machine is working at the moment, and I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, so what these are is, like I said, they are little they're fall themed, but you could do them in any theme. I wanted to work with Antonio. This is my design team project for October, and I am using the Autumn in the Field kit by Antonio Makes. It came with these really cute little, like postcardy type, a page that was like postcard looking things that had the sunflowers on it. And it also had a matching page that had nothing. That was just the background patterns. And to me, that screamed journal covers. And they were the perfect size to go on this project. So I thought this is my project for the month. So what you do is you take your, you're going to take an index card, like a 4x6, a big one. Put your cover on it. You're going to take a regular printed, like digital print, or you could use scrapbook paper, and you just tear it in half and then hinge it with washi tape. Boom. And you also attach it to the cover with washi tape and decorate it. And you collage on the back. So, I mean, it doesn't get any easier unless you struggle with collage. Then it might be a little issue. Or you struggle with sewing, which is why I did 2 glued version. The glued ones as well. So I'm going to give you a quick flip through of each one. You can see it has little envelopes that you can tuck a little something into. Pop, pop. I got jiggy with my envelopes there and used a very weird little thing I found at the dollar store. I just dip it in ink and smash it on there, and it gives this weird, I don't know, it almost looks like some kind of an ancient text or something to me, or like stone. I don't know. It just gives this cool effect and helps mask, if you don't really want the text that's on a book page to be read, it's a great way to mask it, because someone's really going to have to like look around. The only word I really see fully clearly is beautiful, and I share with them, so kind of helps to mask anything that you don't want seen. Then this page is going to be blank. This page I use as a writing spot, and I just use some rice paper on this one. This is a pocket that you can tuck something into, and then of course you can decorate the inside of the front and back covers. I did on this one. I did not on the other 2. So there's my cover. It says Thoughts. I sewed around the edge there. I did put a poem and a little decoration in there. And I'll do that on the other 2. I just didn't do it yet because I don't have the poems that I want. There's my envelope on it. And you can see I did some fast flow stitching on this one, which we will be doing in the camera. My first time ever doing it. Okay, my first time ever actually deliberately doing fast flow stitching. It's not my first time doing fast flow stitching, because basically anytime I stitch, it looks about like fast flow stitching because I ain't very good at it. And then here's my little pocket, the back. And we have the collage along the back. And I just, collage is not my strong point, but I enjoy it. It's just not my best thing. 4x6 postcards. You could do 3x5 too if you wanted to make them even smaller. I like these 4x6. They're heavily coffee dyed, obviously. I was working the other night and it was a boring night of work. So there was like downtime between each task that I had to do. So I took and coffee dyed paper index cards for this. But you're going to take, you want something that is a little smaller than that you can frame as a focal point. And I am using a matching one for the back focal point. Then you're going to use this is just a sheet of the Autumn Infield background pages that I printed and tore the edges off. And I'm just literally going to tear it in half here in a minute to make my pages. And then you'll need lots of collage fodder, a book page envelope. You can see I did more of the weird little stampy effect. And I inked this one and really had a lot of fun playing with it. You're going to need a heavy focal point. I'm using one of the journaling cards from the kit to be the pocket inside. And then you just want collage fodder, washi tape, and anything else you might want to stick in there. So let's get to it because I'm nervous about sewing on camera. So I'm waffling and talking too much because when I get nervous, I do that. Okay. I am inking this one with Gathered Twigs Distress ink throughout. And we're just going to hit this little puppy. And then we are going to lightly glue it on, but then we're also going to sew around it. And my sewing machine is now right beside my desk, which is kind of cool. Because used to it was behind me. I've not decided whether that's actually a good or a bad thing because it jiggles. But when I sew, it's on just like this wire cart. But it's okay. And you know what I do love, y'all? The view outside my window, outside my back door. My tree is so pretty. I'm going to take a picture of it later, and I'm going to put the picture in right here. Because I want you all to see this beautiful tree and just how gorgeous this yard is this time of year. Okay, just slap a little glue on here. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're sewing it. And then, which one do I want? I want this one for the back. Okay, and then just line that up. Get it kind of centered in there somehow so it looks halfway decent. Press it, press it, press it, press it down. Now I'll do the same for the front cover image. These really are easy. I'm going to make a bunch more for Christmas because I am, I found out about a craft show coming up next month and I am going to enter it or get a slot in it or whatever. And I'm going to make up a bunch of these in Christmassy themes or at least like not so fallish themes to sell at that because I think they'd be really cute sellers because they'd be cheap, make great stocking stuffers. Not cheap, but you know what I mean. I mean, people like sometimes they just want something they can grab real quick. It's like $10 or something, you know. Something a little more frugal. I don't like the way that's peeling up. Mash that bad boy down. It's the thing about coffee dyeing the paper. It sometimes gets wonky. Like very wonky. Okay. I am going to sew now. Okay, we're back. They're sewn. Badly sewn, but sewn. Because sewing is not my strong point, y'all. Something I gotta work on. But they still look daggone cute. Started to do a zigzag stitch, but my zigzag stitch is, I don't know. It's not doing right on that cart. I'm going to eventually get a better cart, but for now, we'll just stick with straight stitch because it came out kind of cute. I like it better at the moment. So, okay. Covers sewn. Set aside. Grab your paper. This is going to be the inside pages. Line it up so that it's approximately in half. And crease the two edges. That's all you're worried about. Just pinch those two edges so you know where to rip. And then just kind of free flow rip it. If you can get some little peaks and valleys, that's great. If you don't get any, then don't worry about it. It looks good anyways. Okay, there's that. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take and fold it in half. Look at this. Crease it. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to even be straight because it's wonky. That's the point. Okay, it's folded in half. It's beautiful. Man, y'all, look at those fall papers, though. Is that not gorgeous? I'm just telling you. It's gorgy. Okay. Let's find the washi tape that we were going to use to stick this thing together. Because it was like this really cool washi that my friend sent me. And I've probably put it back by mistake. Yes, this is it. Okay. My friend made this for me and sent it to me in a swap. And it's just not what I... No, it is. It's what I want. Is that going to pop, you guys? I think so. Okay. So what you're going to do is take whatever washi you're using, measure one side of this, where the two pieces that you just made are, and cut it. Okay. And you're actually going to put this on the back side, so it doesn't matter as much. Lay your paper pages like that, so that those two pieces butt together. And this washi is actually just two-sided tape that has some kind of a, I think it's Tim Holtz collage paper actually, but on it. Okay, wait, which way is up? Okay, I have it upside down right now. So when I flip it over, so I want that text to be right side up. Okay. No, guess that would be this way. I don't guess it matters. It's collage paper. This stuff goes any which way. Okay, and just place it over the seam. Press it firmly. And voila. You just hinged it. Okay. Now we want to get our pocket because it's going to go down here. And we're going to ink it with the gathered twigs again. You can see I tore these. I didn't cut them. I haven't been feeling the scissors much lately. So I'm feeling the torn paper look. So that's what I did. Then we're going to take and just glue this pocket a little bit. I mean, you want to glue it firm because it's a pocket and it's going to take some abuse. But you're also going to sew around the edge of it. If you sew this. If you're just gluing it, just glue it. Because there will be no stitching. And if you don't sew on the covers, glue those covers on tight. Where I did it kind of lightly. Okay, let's start working that fold. And let's put our pocket on. Oh, you guys, does it not look pretty? Look at that. Excuse me. Fall works my sinuses over big time. Okay, we're going to make a journaling spot out of some different rice papers that I happen to have laying around. This one I thought was very fallish, and it kind of went with that. So we're going to kind of glue it on. And I do this with just a glue stick. I have used wet glue like my silicone glue, but silicone glue actually kind of makes a mess with rice paper. So unless you really want to deal with that mess, I just use a glue stick, y'all. It's easier, I promise. Okay, it doesn't have to be super stuck. Just stick it enough. Then we're going to use this really weird, just a little bit of it, fibrous paper. You have to cut on this one a little bit because those little fibers, they're very persnickety. Okay. But I also like the look of torn rice paper. Go figure. So I tear as much as I can because it gets that wispy look. And I'm going to stick it, I think, like that. I had one more piece of, yellow. Do I want the yellow, though? I think the yellow might be too much. Let me see what other ones I have here. Ooh, this one would look good. And then I think I'm actually going to push this piece up here because I still want to be able to see that. Does that look? Let's do it that way. How's that like? Yeah. Okay, on this one, you'll see why I say don't use the, like the silicone glues. Also, don't be so rough on it that you tear it. But if you use silicone glue, that would just like bleed all over the place because the glue can't handle the paper can't handle the glue. Let's get a longer piece of this. This stuff, I have been hoarding this stuff for like a year now. Okay, and we're just going to put a little piece like right there. And all that does is create some sort of a journaling spot because it knocks the color back a little bit. And then you can get in there and write, okay? We're going to bring this one down just a little. Okay, there. See? It just knocks the color back some so you can get in there and write. All right, now let's put our pocket on. What do we do with the pocket? Here's the pocket. The beautiest pocket. Oh, my land, you guys. Those colors, though. I'm telling you. Okay, on all the others, I've been putting the pocket on the first one. But on this one, I'm going to put it on the second spot. Don't ask me why, but I feel like it fits better here, color-wise. Okay, and for this one, I actually am just using my glue stick to get some glue on there. And then I'm going to run you're going to sew over this, but I'm still going to run a bead of silicone glue along this edge because I don't trust an edge for anything, especially when it's jagged. Okay, and again, this is going to be a flip-up pocket, which means it's going to get some, where do I want it over here? Where is it going to look better? I think I should stick to my pattern. Okay, like that. Yeah, I think so. Okay, there we go. Pocket in. Okay, now I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to go fast stitch this, but I'll explain what I'm going to do. I'm going to sew, starting here, catch this just in a wavy line. So across this page, across all that. When I get to here, I'm going to sew down this edge, across the bottom, up this edge, then back down this edge, across the bottom, and then up here, and then take back off down the bottom half of it, coming up this side and ending down here. Okay? Does that make sense? And it is sewn. Do you see my stitching is green? Because green's what's in my sewing machine. And not too bad for fast flow stitching. I gotta say, I'm pleased with it. It came out much better. The last time I had the entire thing put together, including the covers on it, y'all do not know how hard it was to try to force that to go through that sewing machine. And this time I got smart and moved the sewing machine onto the stable table instead of on the jiggly wire cart, so it didn't jiggle all over the place. That also helped immensely. Okay. Now to put this puppy together, what you're going to do is take your front cover, boom, boom, and your first page. Figure out which way you want your little page flyaways to go, or cut them off if you want. Probably be a wise idea. Am I doing it? No, not at the moment. I'm not. Okay. And find that washi tape that you were using to hinge things, and cut a piece of washi, approximately the size you need to hinge it. Okay. If you want to ink that puppy on the end to kind of make it match, look cohesive. I think I forgot to do that last time, but it's okay. Because it's more about having fun than it being exact. Okay, and I'll take your two-sided tape, washi, whatever this is, and hinge it. Okay, take your last piece of washi, or a piece of washi that matches the size you're doing, and you line your edges up. I like to just overlap a smidgy. You'll see why when I fold these towards the back. And then put your tape on and line it up. Okay. You want to shoot for about half, but if you don't get half, don't worry about it. Then just snip that puppy off. the top. And if you need to on the other one, snip it as well. I think that one's good. It's this one that needed a little smidgen snipped out. Okay, there. Okay. Your journal is put together. I love it. And it's already very cute. You've got your major elements in there. And like I say, I would probably put the poem on this page, actually. The first one where I put the poem here, there was like printing from the company. I think it was actually the like the cover index card, and I wanted to cover that up, so while the poem's there, your poem would actually go there, which is where I'll put it in this. Now we want to do the collage. And y'all, I'm just going to apologize in advance for my poor collaging skills, because this is not my strong point. Okay, I like this page with the maths on it. So, I don't know, numbers are interesting to me. So, what I'm going to do, yeah, I like this page. Take my glue stick. It's just the Scotch Create that I always use. And the other glue is the Beacon 3-in-1. Oh, Scotch Create is sticky. I've managed to get glue like all over it the last 2 days. So, okay, and you just want to glue these down. And since this is just collage for to cover this background a little bit, you don't have to be super quick with it or anything. Okay, there's the first piece down. Let's go for something with some contrast. I do have little scraps of collage fodder that I been working with. So I think I'm going to use a piece of this one. I absolutely love this one, you guys. This was, again, I was working and bored. So I just like started inking and slapping color down, watercolors, inks, alcohol sprays, whatever I could find, basically, onto some paper to get some color going. And I loved how it turned out. I thought it turned out so pretty. And I mean, that packs such a punch. It's got watercolors, acrylics, inks, stickles, you name it. Whatever was laying on my desk got put on it. And I'm absolutely, that's too dark. Let's use it down here. I want to use some bigger pieces this time. Okay, we've been using silicone glue on this one. It is so delicate. It cannot handle the pressure of the glue stick. It just kind of crumbles. So I just take it and put just a little bit of silicone glue around the edges. And I'm not even super, you can see it's just delicate. Not getting a huge amount of glue on there, just enough to hold it. Because it is delicate. And the more I touch it, the more delicate I realize it is. Okay, I think I'm going to put it right here. I don't want it on that crease, but I'm going to butt it right up to it. And I'm going to let it just kind of peek over the edge there. Okay, at the top. Just give some visual interest to it. Again, this is tatty. It doesn't have to be all fancy schmancy. We've got some sheet music. Where would that look good? That might work like that to kind of bridge that seam. If you can bridge your seams in a couple spots, that just reinforces it and makes your thing stronger. So I try to do that in a few spots, to make sure that I bridge a couple of them. But don't bridge it with like a skinny piece. Don't like just leave like that. You want to make sure there's a good chunker coming over that so that it doesn't cause a pilly-uppy. Okay. Oh, loving it already, and I don't even like to collage. Okay. I keep looking at this. How would that look there? That might look good. We're going to rip that top and rip that side because I don't really like straight edges. You can see some of these pages are so delicate and old. And my fingers are kind of sticky. Okay. But they just like tear so easy. And it's so satisfying. This one is not as old as the other one though. That one is very brittle. This is only mildly brittle. Glue. But again, silicone glue, because it would just be too much to rub a glue stick across this, I'm afraid. I'm going to pull this one down low. And I'm not pushing this top down. I'm pressing it everywhere but that, because I'll be running a piece below that. It's going to go on our cover. You have your collage done. Now, if you want to take and use some like washies or something pretty, I'm going to use some of this fall washi. Mainly because when I got this fall washi in Happy Mail, you do not know how excited I was. I was like, oh, you sent me washi. It's fall washi. Okay, I'm just putting a piece of it there to kind of finish that bottom off. Okay, we need some more washi though. I try to use the washi in 2s and 3s. So I will pick, like that just had a lot of white space that I thought needed covered. Now with this other piece, I went long ways that way. So I'm going to go tall ways this way. Ooh, I like that. That bridged that nicely. And then I'll usually take just like a really small piece and put somewhere in the center, or I may even just rip like a little shred of it and put in somewhere, just a little peak. Okay. I don't like that all the washi ended up on the bottom though, so I'm going to break this up with a little washi there too. Okay, there we go. The collage part is done. And then we have our fronts. Very beautiful. And our collaged back. Now we're going to take a butterfly. Let's put on the front. We're going to find some cheesecloth and some of that weird green stuff that I like to use. Best thing my son ever found for me. He's like, Mom, what about this? I'm like, give it to me. We went in the dollar store the other day, like the Dollar Tree, and it was the first time I've been in the Dollar Tree in months that I literally had a little money, just like spare money to spend. So I could just look and actually just like, kind of browse and think, oh, I like this. I want it. So it wasn't the store we normally go in. We had went to another town up the road, and he was like, oh, Marianne's mom, come on. He's like, you look at this same stuff at ours. I was like, no, ours doesn't have all this. They had so many good crafty supplies. I'm just trying to make that cheesecloth kind of cooperate. I don't want it to exactly match the green stuff. So I'm kind of roughhousing it a little bit. what I might do is just like plop it down where I want it, with a little bit of glue, and then put the other on it. And it's just going to kind of be a focal, because each one of the flowers were a little different on these, like in different spots and stuff. So I'm going to kind of put it right there. I'm going to kind of smoosh it like that. Give it some life to it. We'll put that little piece on top of it. This stuff's hard to glue down. You kind of got to just like hope for the best. I just kind of dab some glue in a couple of spots and hope it catches them. It's like, let's hope that's enough. But it looks so cool once it's on the page. And then glue the back of your butterfly pretty good, because it's got to try to squish through to the paper, through all that. And yeah, I would use the beacon. I wouldn't try like using the glue stick for this, because it is so thick. Press it down. And it's stuck. Okay, now we're going to use the title piece, because I thought it was pretty, and just take and glue it on. And I am going to put it like right there. One of them I did do it up high, but I actually like it better down on the bottom. And on some of them I do slide it off to the side so that it's off centered. But on this one I'm going to leave it there because there's a lot of blank space there. Okay, it's all done, you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. It's made my day just very joyful, and I am grateful for that. And I thank you all so much. Y'all do mean the world to me. If you found value, well, I can't get that lid on. If you found value in this video, please be sure to like it. Leave me a comment letting me know what you think. If you try the project yourself, look me up over on social media. You can find me at Sunshine and Grace Journals. That's my Facebook page for my journals. You can find me as Miranda McCulley, or you can join my VIP group, Sunshine and Grace Journals VIP, where there you will find lots of, we do like weekly games, and it's a contest. So at the end of the week, every Tuesday I do a drawing for a gift certificate to spend in my shop. Well, it's with me. It's through the group page, because I list my items in there too at a discount, cheaper than what they are on Etsy. So you can use the gift certificate there. And we do there's free digital giveaways, freebies, and that kind of thing. So, and you can find all my social media links in the Linktree link below in the description box. And I will link to Antonio's kit, Autumn in Field, in the description box below. And I will also pin a comment with that link so that you can find it easier. Because y'all are going to want to get this kit. I am not kidding. It is gorgeous. And it was so perfect for this. Look at these. Just look at them. Oh, so gorgy. I just love them. I mean, seriously love them. This little, this was a piece of ephemera in the kit that I put together. Little envelope. I thought I might use it in one of these, and I probably still will. I just didn't I was going to use it as one of the flip flaps, but I forgot. And then I realized the bird would be upside down was what it was. That bothered me. So I think I would tuck it in like on the side like that now. And this was another of the journaling cards. I printed all of them double-sided on the backs. So, yeah. Anyways, that's it. So, I'm going to jump off here. But before I go, I just want to remind y'all that Jesus loves you so much he died for you. And if you don't know that, I'd love to have the chance to tell you about it. Because there is nothing that I like more than talking about my Savior. I like that even more than I do crafting, if that's possible. So, yeah, if you don't know, get a hold of me and we'll take care of that problem for you. All right. Y'all have a great day, and just Be grateful, okay? And we'll chat soon. Grace and peace. Bye-bye.